Alright, listen up. Everybody keeps shouting about the same mainstream anime every damn week, but today we are diving into the cracked corner of the anime world where the real gems are hiding. I am talking about those shows with animation so stupidly clean it makes you wonder why nobody is screaming about them, from mind-melting action cuts to stop-your-heart emotional scenes that look like someone painted each frame with their soul. These are the underrated masterpieces people keep sleeping on, so buckle up, grab a snack, and maybe a pillow to scream into, because this list is about to expose some criminally overlooked heat. Let's get into the top 9 underrated anime with god tier animation. Sliding into number 9, we have The Most Powerful Vendor, an anime that honestly tricks you at first glance. You look at the title and think, oh great, another chill shopkeeper isekai where nothing happens. But nah, this show hits you with that surprise uppercut because behind the apron and polite smile is a dude packing absurd, almost disrespectful power levels. What really makes it stand out is the animation. It is way too damn clean for a series that pretends to be low stakes. The moment abilities come out, the entire art style shifts like the animators were just waiting to flex. Dynamic angles, bright magic effects, weighty hits, and those crisp close-ups that make you pause and go, yo? Why does this look this good? Even the world building scenes, the item crafting, the quiet downtime moments have this smooth, polished glow that makes everything feel alive. And the best part, it stays fun. It never tries to be something it's not. It is just a dope, visually satisfying story about a man who wanted peace. But fate said, nah fam, hold these powers. If you want a hidden gem that looks surprisingly premium from start to finish, The Most Powerful Vendor definitely earns its spot here. Into number 8 is an anime that takes the apocalypse, flips it on its head, and asks the real question, what if zombies were the best thing to ever happen to you? That's exactly the chaotic energy of Zom 100. We follow Akira Tendo, a young corporate slave who's been worked to the bone by a hell-tier company. But the moment zombies overrun the city, this man doesn't panic. He celebrates, because for the first time in years, he's free. Free from overtime, free from toxic bosses, free to actually live. So he starts writing a bucket list of 100 things he wants to do before he eventually becomes a zombie himself. The animation is peak stylized madness, neon colors splashing across grim streets, creative zombie designs, and action scenes that bounce between comedy and high adrenaline chaos. It looks good, it feels good, and it hits hard in all the right places, especially when the show dips into themes of burnout, hope, and rediscovering joy in a world that's falling apart. And yes, it has an English dub, so you can enjoy all the insanity however you like. Zom 100 isn't just a zombie anime. It's a mid-20s life crisis wrapped in comedy, heart, and pure visual energy. Sliding into number 7, Zenchu is one of the most meta and beautifully animated anime you might have slept on, and trust me, its visuals alone deserve a shout out. The story follows Natsuko Hirose, a young animator director who burns out and literally dies of food poisoning, but instead of an afterlife, she wakes up in the world of her childhood favorite anime film, A Tale of Perishing, with the power to redraw scenes and bring her creations to life. It's wild. She's stuck in this fantasy realm, trying to change the tragic story she once loved, while also struggling with her own emotional baggage. The animation, pure Mappa magic, the way her drawings animate into real characters, the fluidity of battle scenes, and the emotional weight when art becomes life. It's got that glossy, high-budget feel that sneaks up on you. Also, it's 12 episodes long, and yes, there's an English dub available on Crunchyroll. It's the kind of show that's equal parts isekai, gaming your creativity, and chasing dreams. It's subtle, smart, and visually insane. If you're all about anime that reflects on anime and has some of the slickest animation work this season, Zenchu deserves way more shine than it's getting. On to number 6, and we're cranking the visual insanity all the way up with Promare, Studio Trigger's explosive, neon-soaked masterpiece that basically said, what if animation didn't follow the laws of physics at all? This movie is Trigger at their most unhinged, their most stylish, and their most peak anime energy ever recorded. Promare throws you headfirst into a world where people spontaneously combust into living fire mutants called the Burnish, and humanity's last line of defense is the Burning Rescue Team, led by our loud, fearless, endlessly hyped protagonist Gallo Thymos, a man who shouts like he's allergic to indoor voices. When Gallo crosses paths with the Burnish leader, Leophodia, the story flips into a high-stakes battle about oppression, freedom, and survival. But the real selling point, the animation is absolutely unhinged in the best way possible. Giant mechs, rainbow fire, impossible camera angles, transitions that feel like they were blessed by the gods of Sakuga. Every frame looks like Trigger dumped an entire bucket of color onto the storyboard and said, yes, perfect. It's loud, it's stylish, it's chaotic, and it's one of the most visually striking anime films of the last decade. Promare isn't just animated, it's performed like a rave, an action movie, and a fever dream all merged into a single blast of pure hype. This is the definition of peak animation energy, and if you haven't watched it yet, you're missing one of the wildest visual experiences anime has ever created. Into number 5, we have Takt Op Destiny, an anime that looks so good it almost feels illegal. This series is the definition of art in motion, blending music, magic, and pure visual elegance into something that feels like a symphony brought to life. Set in a post-apocalyptic America overrun by monsters called D2s, creatures literally born from chaos and allergic to music. Humanity's only hope lies in music hearts, weaponized girls powered by classical melodies, and their conductors, the partners who guide them in battle. Enter Takt, a genius pianist with zero patience, and Destiny, a music heart with the firepower of a whole orchestra section strapped to her arm. What makes this anime a gem isn't just the story, it's the presentation. The animation is clean, sharp, and undeniably stylish, with action sequences choreographed like musical pieces. Timing, rhythm, impact, every swing, blast, and explosion feels synced to an invisible soundtrack. Even simple walking scenes look so smooth you'd think the animators polished every frame by hand. And let's be honest, this is Mappa and Madhouse working together, two studios known for melting their animators, teaming up to melt your eyes with beauty. Takt Op Destiny may not have been the biggest hit when it aired, but visually, it's on a whole different tier. A gorgeous, charming, secretly emotional ride that proves underrated anime can still look absolutely peak. Into number 4 is the Elusive Samurai, an anime that proves you don't need brute strength to be a legend. Sometimes all you need is brains, agility, and the art of slipping out of danger like a ghost in the wind. Based on Yusei Matsui's manga, the same creator of Assassination Classroom, this series follows Tokiyuki Hojo, a young heir whose entire clan gets wiped out in a political betrayal. But instead of becoming your typical sword-wielding revenge protagonist, Tokiyuki fights back with something totally different: his ridiculous ability to run away, and not in a cowardly way, in a I'm so fast you'll eat dust way. What makes this anime peak underrated is how beautifully it balances comedy and heartbreak. One moment, Tokiyuki is dodging assassins with acrobatics so smooth they look like parkour ballet. The next moment, the story hits you with the weight of destiny, loyalty, and the pressure of reclaiming a fallen legacy. The animation captures every dash, glide, and escape with wild, fluid motion. It feels like watching historical ninja parkour in high resolution. The supporting cast is just as insane, loyal retainers with quirky personalities, a monk who barely acts holy, and enemies who are way scarier than you'd expect in such a colorful world. Yet through all the humor, the tension stays real. The Elusive Samurai is funny, stylish, emotional, and visually sharp. The perfect blend of action and personality. And in terms of animation, it's criminally overlooked, underrated, but undeniably elite. Sliding into number 3 is Oshi no Ko, an anime that came out swinging with production levels so clean they shocked the entire industry. This is not just a drama, it's a full-blown emotional ambush wrapped in idle glitter and backed by some of the crispest animation of the decade. The story kicks off with a twist that still lives rent-free in anime history. We follow Aqua and Ruby, twins born under the most insane circumstances imaginable, carrying the reincarnated memories of their past lives while navigating the ruthless world of entertainment. What starts as a glittery idol story turns into a dark, psychological deep dive into fame, manipulation, revenge, and the price of chasing the spotlight. And visually, peak. Absolute peak. The colors hit like neon fireworks. The lighting feels cinematic, and every emotional beat, from heartbreak to obsession, is animated with surgical precision. That episode 1, still one of the highest rated anime episodes ever, and for good reason. Every frame screams quality. What makes Oshi no Ko truly underrated in terms of animation is that people talk so much about its story twists that they forget how god-tier the production actually is. The expressive character acting, the fluid cuts and performance scenes, the way emotions shine through tiny micro movements. This series doesn't just show drama, it animates it with terrifying accuracy. It's haunting, beautiful, stylish, and bold. Oshi no Ko is the kind of anime that grabs your heart, squeezes it, and leaves you staring at the screen in silence. Perfect for a list like this. In at number 2 with all the neon violence and heartbreak your soul can take. Cyberpunk Edgerunners. This series didn't just have good animation, it redefined what a video game adaptation could look like. Trigger went ballistic with the visuals, delivering a show that feels like you're being thrown through a rainbow blender at 200 kilometers per hour, and somehow every frame still looks intentional, stylish, and alive. The story follows David Martinez, a street kid trying to survive in Night City, a place where dreams are currency and your own body is just another upgrade waiting to be swapped out. After tragedy hits, David dives headfirst into the world of Edgerunners, mercenaries who push their cybernetic limits until their minds snap. It's fast, brutal, and drenched in the kind of emotional weight that punches you directly in the chest. But let's talk visuals. Because this anime is peak Trigger insanity, every gunfight is a kaleidoscope of color, every chase feels like the camera is barely keeping up. The character animation is razor sharp, the lighting is unreal, and the transitions between calm and chaos are so fluid it feels like you're watching a hallucination. The show doesn't animate Night City. It makes you feel it breathing, pulsing, consuming. And then there's the ending, which turned half the internet into emotional wrecks. Not because it was shocking, but because the animation made every moment hit 10 times harder. Cyberpunk Edgerunners is loud, stylish, tragic, and visually flawless. A one-season masterpiece that proves animation can elevate a story from great to legendary, perfect for number 2. Finally, on to number 1. And honestly, was there ever any doubt? Violet Evergarden is peak animation. Not good, not amazing, but untouchable, masterpiece level visual storytelling that no one has managed to replicate since. This anime isn't just drawn, it's crafted. Kyoto Animation poured their soul, their patience, and every microscopic detail into every frame. The lighting, cinematic, the character animation, so smooth it feels like watercolor brought to life. Even the smallest gestures, a blink, a trembling hand, a tear catching the sun, are animated with emotions most shows can't convey with entire scenes. And at the heart of it all is Violet, a former soldier trying to understand the meaning of I love you. Every episode follows her journey as she writes letters for others, absorbing their joy, grief, and regrets, while slowly learning what it means to feel something herself. It's quiet, emotional, and impossibly beautiful. The kind of show that hits your heart slow, but leaves a bruise that lasts forever. The animation elevates everything, from the war-torn landscapes to the glowing sunsets, from flowing dresses to the way Violet's metal hands move. It's all so precise you could pause at any moment and get a literal painting. And the emotional peaks? When Violet breaks, the animation breaks with her. When she smiles, the world seems to light up. Violet Evergarden isn't just the most beautifully animated romance drama of the decade. It's the kind of series that reminds you why animation matters, why it exists, why we watch. A flawless number 1. And that wraps up our list of underrated gems with absolutely peak animation. Whether it's the chaotic neon of Promare, the emotional elegance of Violet Evergarden, or the raw cyber grit of Edgerunners, each of these series proves one thing. Anime isn't just storytelling, it's an art form, a flex, a whole visual experience that hits different when the talent behind it decides to go all out. If you found a new title to binge, mission accomplished. And if you've already seen them all, congratulations, you're officially deep in the anime trenches with the rest of us. Either way, thanks for watching, stay legendary, and I'll catch you in the next one.